All right, good evening. I will begin with a few introductory comments. As a courtesy to everyone here tonight, please make sure that all cell phones are turned off. Any final action taken on a conditional use permit request will take effect 5 working days following this meeting unless a written appeal of the Planning Commission's decision is filed in the planning office. Yeah. In the event, by July 1st at 5 p.m., sorry. In the event of an appeal, the decision will be referred to the County Commission for a hearing on July 16th at 9:15 a.m. The rezoning will be heard by the County Commission on August 20th, 2013. Meetings of the County Commission are held in this same room. Action taken on a variance may be appealed to the Circuit Court in a manner and form as provided by the statutes of the state of South Dakota. The Planning Commission will convene as the Board of Adjustment to consider item 1 on the agenda. After this item, the Planning Commission will reconvene for the rest of the items on the agenda. And for this item, we needed a quorum, and Wayne Steinhauer has agreed to participate by conference call. Thank you, Wayne. And so I think we'll go ahead and take care of that variance while we have him on the phone.
Okay, I'll be presenting the variance, Scott Anderson, and this is variance 13-4. This is to reduce the side yard and rear yard setback. The applicant is requesting to reduce the minimum setback on the north and west property lines from 10 and 20 feet to 0 feet. The subject property is located in Corson, and the applicant is requesting this variance to, in order to modify the existing building and construct an addition on the north and west sides of the building. I did a site inspection on May 3rd, and as you are probably all familiar with Corson, the property is located along South Dakota Highway 11, is the location of Bottoms Up Bar. The community theater building is located directly to the south, and as well as the elevator that's directly to the west. There's a large gravel parking lot to the north and the west as well. You may recall that last year in September, you also, as a Board of Adjustment, granted a variance reducing the side yard setback along the south property line from 10 to 0 feet. And this was to allow the applicant to construct a semi-enclosed smoking area for the bar patrons. Nothing's really changed since September. I mean, this property is facing the same conditions. It is uniquely sandwiched between the railroad tracks and the archaic platting of Corson, and the ever-increasing right-of-way width of Highway 11 has continued to shrink this down. It was platted in an era and a time where lots were quite small. Corson was developing as a community, so they're rather small lots. That being the case, staff finds that there is indeed a hardship that is unwarranted and unimposed by the applicant on himself. Staff is recommending approval of the variance 1304 to reduce the side yard setback along the north property line from 10 to 0 feet, and to reduce the rear setback along the west property line from 20 to 0 feet, with one condition: that the building wall located on the property lines cannot have any openings, windows, or doors, and must be constructed of a minimum 2-hour fire-resistant material. The construction must meet the specific conditions of Chapter 7 of the 2012 IBC Code. And I have a few slides if you'd like to look at them. Can you see them, Wayne? It's not. But this is the addition. You can see this is the smoking addition on the back that they put together. Here is the back, and this is basically from the front door to the north, with the older shingles is the area that's going to be repaired and expanded. And so this basically is the property. And I'd be glad to answer any questions you have.
Okay, any questions for Scott? Thank you.
Okay.
Is Troy here?
Yep.
Want to state your name and address?
My name's Troy Novak, 7019 West 51st Street, Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
All right, any questions, comments?
I have no questions. I'd just like to thank Wayne for doing the conference call and getting this started for me. I appreciate it a lot. But yeah, we just want to keep on going with the front. I mean, as you can see, we started with the brickwork on the front and we stopped, and the roof has a big sag in it. So I figured if we're going to do the roof part of it, we might as well try to put on another 25-foot addition onto it. And with Marmon Energies and all the industrial growth going to the west of us there, it's perfect timing for me to make a little extra room for a little extra customers, hopefully.
Chairman, so you're going to basically, you're just going to remodel and add on?
Basically, yes. We're gonna retruss the roof is what the plan is for right now, and then just go on another 25-foot out of the existing structure and remodel the inside of it and start doing some new lunches and stuff for the boys that are working up there west of us.
Any other questions for Troy? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Is there anybody in the audience that wants to speak to this item tonight? All right. Any discussion or motion?
I'd make a motion to approve.
Okay.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All right, thank you, Wayne. This motion
Oh, my pleasure.
has been approved.
Thank you for putting up with my
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna hang up on you, Wayne.
All right, I've been hung up on before.
Bye.
Bye now.
Thanks. All right, now we're going to convene as the planning commission. And we're going to consider the consent agenda. The minutes from the May 20th meeting are included as part of the consent agenda. Are there any objections from the planning commission to any item listed on the consent agenda? No? Okay. Next, I will read each item on the consent agenda, and if anybody in the audience objects to the item, you can raise your hand and we'll move it to the regular agenda to allow you to address the commission later in the meeting. So, item number 2 is the approval of the May 20th, 2013 minutes. Number 3 is a conditional use permit to amend a prior permit to allow retail sales of firearms and ammunition, and that is located in south of Hartford. Item number 4 is a conditional use permit to transfer residential building eligibility. This is 1 mile south of Wall Lake. Item 5 is a rezoning from light industrial to C commercial, and this is in Corson. Is there any objections to any of those items? Seeing none, can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as listed?
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
If you are here for any of those items, they have all been approved. And you are free to leave. If you don't know, you can ask.
Madam Chairman, can I ask the staff a question? You know, you get into that Corson branded thing now.
Thanks.
Corson's technically an unincorporated village, is that what?
Corson's unincorporated village.
Like Renner?
Yeah,
Rowena.
Rowena and Renner. They're all.
Okay.
Or Wall Lake.
Or, well, that's not even.
The thing is that everybody knows where these places are.
Yeah.
If I said meet me in Renner, you'd drive right there.
Mhm.
If you said meet me in Corson, you'd be right there.
If you want to store something, you join it. Rowena.
Okay, then, I guess we have a regular agenda, though there's no items on the regular agenda. Do we still approve it?
No.
Okay.
Have a good send off.
Somebody gonna
Good young
do any
fellow yesterday.
presentations, or is there any old business we should discuss?
I don't know. No, I don't.
Nothing's been brought to the county commission in the last month.
No.
No, not that I can think of.
And Envision 2035 update.
Yeah, we had a great meeting last week or the week before, last Thursday. Our focus was on transportation. We had a really good discussion with everybody what was there. We took time to look at where the railroads are in the county and select some spots which the commission or the task force thought would be good for development along the rail. We have more to go, I guess, at this point, but we're continuing on that. But they bought off on all the recommendations that we had for transportation. So we are going to try to have a meeting with all the 3 railroads too that are in the county and get their input too on where they would like to see.
It always seems like with the rails, it always gets, it's almost like one of those red flag deals, like gravel pits
Yeah.
and dog kennels and those types of things. Everybody gets excited when there's going to be something for the rail.
But that's where it has to
That's
be.
where you need all
Oh,
that
yes, I
stuff
know.
to be, but you know, you almost want to keep residential away from
Yeah.
those places because they don't coexist very well.
However, that's
That's
why
right.
PJ Enterprise should have been on the north side of town by the rail line.
Yeah.
Everybody says, oh my goodness, you can see it from the plane.
We had a discussion that actually did come up. So
It should have.
yeah.
I'm going to bring up something that probably nothing to do with planning and zoning, but you know, like everybody says that this